Hello there, my friends. Welcome to the Glow Up Method. This is the place for you to discover exactly who it is you are, how to change, transform, improve, empower, love the life you're living, and pursue one that makes you proud. Hello there. My name is Natasha, and I am so truly honored and blessed to be here with you today. So let me just tell you the tea. I did go to that party yesterday. And let me tell you, I was telling you, there was this party, and I do believe in some way, like everything happens for a reason. So I see this invitation and this girls group that I joined because you know what? When we are an adults, women, sometimes it's hard to make new friends that are independent of like our husbands or our wives or our, friends, like we already have our kids' friends. Just having this anonymity to kind of be who we are now, right? Like we have our old friends, we have things, perhaps we've moved to a new city, perhaps we've changed like our, areas of life we're in. Sometimes you have friends that are just having kids and now you're at the tail end, or you don't have kids and don't want kids. Very different areas of your life you're in. I mean, yes, you can still be friends and you're still bonded and da-da-da-da-da. But making new friends can be a challenge. And so I joined this group last year. Maybe it was the year before. And I've done a few events. But then there was this invitation. And I really do believe that every single woman that wound up there yesterday, that had the courage to come to a party where we not only didn't know the host, but we didn't know a soul there. I believe we were all meant to be there. I believe that invitation was specifically shown to us, and we had the courage to say, yeah, I'm going to go. This looks pretty badass, and I'm going to add to this badassery. And so not only was it in my hometown, hello, so easy, like I didn't have to drive so far away, but it looked like it was going to be an amazing event. And let me tell you, not only did I feel like I was a part of the Housewives of Pleasanton, let me tell you, this house was beautiful. And it was thrown by this her strength, her creativity just emitted, like her energy, beautiful, amazing. She had gifts, like everything was done up. Like this was, like she should be a party planner, like the charcuterie, I don't know, the cocktail, like every detail was remembered. Like some things that you didn't know you needed and were there. And it was just so beautiful, so kind. And, I was talking with them about how, I have this thing where it was like, when we're young, some of the coolest people in the world can be women, like girls, like, hello, middle school girls, mean. And I'm not saying I wasn't one of them at some points in my life. Yes, I was bullied by once. But yes, I did do mean things that like, I'm like, oh, why did I say or do that? Things that, right now don't make me proud and didn't make me proud then. But for whatever reason, I did those things. So we live and we learn, right? We don't continue to do that. But being there were women from all walks of life, all history, all places where they started and how they ended up here, and different professions and different age groups and different passions. And it was just such a beautiful thing. Like, I'm so glad. So number one, this is your reminder that I know it can be a challenge to find a community, but just like I found it in the gym, I have these resources. And I really felt like yesterday was this celebration. It was this opportunity for me to get dressed up, throw on a yellow dress. And let me tell you, every girl there had these colorful outfits on. It's like we all knew, florals galore. Like, it just felt so beautiful and feminine, but strong and creative and resilient. And I don't know, it filled my tank so much so being there and hearing these women's stories and sharing mine. And even some people, I was vulnerable enough to say, what I'm celebrating is I'm having surgery on Monday. This was my journey. And I am here to share my journey because I want to inspire. I want to help people. I want to say, you know what? It's not about where you're at right now. It's not about where you start, but it's about embarking on the journey. It's about saying today is day one. Even if you said day one was 5 days ago and you started for 3 days and then you stopped, today is day one. This is your day one. your option here, your goal is to be 1% better than you were yesterday. To have today's highs be the lows of tomorrow. Is that how we say it? Today's highs? Yes. So I say all this to say, here we are. We are 1 hours now. One sleep, if we could sleep, away from changing my physical life in a very dramatic way, right? So I'm getting this surgery done. This excessive skin is supposed to be removed. I have now done some deep diving into the Facebook forums. I finally joined those last night. Have been doing a lot of research. I have seen people saying, oh my gosh, my surgery's tomorrow, my surgery's Friday. Like, I'm like, hey, let's be support buddies. Maybe I'll hear back. Maybe somebody wants a support buddy. Maybe they don't. Maybe this is a very interpersonal, independent journey. For me, I want to share. I want to be a part of it. These women who have had the courage to share their journey and their photos and their successes and what things have been challenging has empowered me. I don't wish anybody to have any struggles or anything, but now I have this information that should I have some swelling, should I have like a drain one side not working, I don't need to panic. I don't need to, worry about it. This is part of the process. And so for me, what this has been this internal thing. I am not going into this procedure with any type of expectations on a physical level. Except for, I would expect that this is not going to look exactly as it looks now. That's my expectation. I know that come tomorrow, it's going to look 1% better than it does today. And I know that 1% is going to continue to grow. I know that I'm going to need to adjust. I don't know what things are. So to put some pressure on myself and be like, you need to get this many steps and you need to drink this much water and you need to eat this much protein. It's back to go time. I've been slacking off intentionally for the last few months. It's been a rough road, right? From going from a separation to like thinking I was going to feel this elation and excitement that Chris was no longer in my physical space or in my freaking face, to this place where I felt a deep sense of loss and sorrow and heartbreak, to this place to have the courage to say, hey, this is what I'm feeling, to having the courage to accept him for who he is today. And it's a challenge. Like, we have gotten along very well. Over the last few weeks, I've been busy. And so I know I'm not putting in that extra time, which is a reflection of how I have, feel like, shoot, I really do miss those times when we were cuddling more at night. Like, that was a real, I miss those connections. I miss those times. And I know that it's a lot on me. And then today and yesterday, things got busy and kids, and I had a party and it's concerts and And then this morning I have a freak out because I'm like, nobody's ever here for me. I feel alone. And Natasha has to do these things, but I don't. I do have a community. And it doesn't mean Chris is my only community. It means there are many people in my community. And in your community, there's certain people that have certain strengths. And there are certain people that have certain weaknesses. If all of a sudden Chris was to have a surgery and he needed me to do the tech support, I'm not the one. Like, I'm not the one. I would love to be there to support him, but I don't know crap about how a computer or IT stuff works. I just don't. And so, in a sense, me expecting him to show up like I would show up, it's not freaking fair to him, and it's not freaking fair to me. I can explain what I need, but the guy can't mind read, okay? We've established this a long time ago. Wouldn't life be easier if he could? And although some things I probably am very grateful he can't read, right? Like, he just doesn't need to know that. Even though, we're open and honest, there's just certain things that, like, everybody in this, you could keep a few things in the vault to yourself, right? But I just had this like freak out moment, and who better not to freak out on than the guy that's sitting here, on his phone, being physically present, but not necessarily everything I need in that moment. Because guess what? I don't even know what I need in these moments. So for me to put on the expectations and get my sad face and have my little pity party, what really is not fair to him. But it is part of my process, and I was going to have my own pity party, and I was damn well going to cry if I wanted to. And I did. And so here I am, and that's part of the journey. And I know in this process, there's going to be a lot of highs. There's going to be a couple lows. But I know that every journey I've embarked on, every decision I've made has been so. So there's going to be some adjustments. And, I am going to go back to eating in a healthier fashion, not in the excess. I had integrated soda back into my life. What the hell is that? Like, I love it in some ways, but it's not nourishing my body. As I have filled myself with more and more junk, I have felt myself more and more tired and less energetic in my dance classes, in my workouts. They have been more struggling, and I directly connect them to what I'm putting in my mouth. And it's fine, right? Like, it's okay. But I know that as I go through this, I understand what seasons I'm in. I was in a season that I needed that nurturing. I was in a season that I needed a lot of seasonings. I needed, certain type of things. And what better way to bond with Chris than go out to eat, and what are we cooking tonight, and cook together. And really, like, the food has become this central part of our relationship. And I found myself a lot of times eating outside of my windows, and I'm being okay with it. I'm okay with the decisions I make at the time, but I'm going forward with my new plan, right? I'm going to have this new body that's going to be tight in certain places. So to overindulge in certain things, and like salty foods or sodium filled sodas, like, these things are just going to make me feel like crud. And right now, if I can't be able to be out in the world dancing and moving the way in which I want, I need to be nourishing myself from the inside out. That begins with my thoughts. That begins with my spirituality. That begins with my emotions. That begins with my mentality. And that begins with what I'm putting inside of my body. The quality of the food I'm choosing. I've chosen to splurge and spend a lot of money on a massage chair that I typically never would. Now, I wasn't at the highest end. And parts of me is like, girl, just get the damn highest end one you can. And then there was a delay. The chair was supposed to be here yesterday. Then the chair is supposed to be here today. Supposedly the chair comes tomorrow, and guess what? I'm not here. But Chris did say he's going to come, and he'll make a way to set it all up for me, because that's going to be my new home for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm hoping it's comfortable. I am hoping that, its therapeutic effects will be helpful, because there's like compression, and there's heat, and there's going to be a lot going on, and I'm just going to need that nurturing. I'm going to need that time to take it slow. And I know that if I push myself too far, which I often do, I will cause myself to elongate this process. So the goal is to delicately balance and meet myself where I am each day, and not even each day, but kind of like each hour of the day. So my big goals, kind of my big takeaways from a lot of things I learned from reading other people's stories or watched on YouTube, is number one, hydration. I'm going to be setting I'm getting back on my water grind, girls, here. I have been slacking on that, especially when it gets cold. I don't know. I'm not like, oh, let me have a nice cold glass of water. It just doesn't sound good. I'm not as thirsty. So start drinking more of my water again. Really, start detoxing out these things, help pushing this lymphatic fluid stuff going around that's going to be, wanting to get out of my body. I feel the swelling. I look at myself and I look much different than I looked December, and it's only April. I am also planning on upping that protein again, helping this body to heal, right? And then making some really manageable steps, goals. So for me, I'm thinking, I'm only at 10K a day. Only is still a good number. My ideal number is somewhere between 12 and 15. That's where I feel the most comfortable. But again, like I said, I had to throttle it back because of my back. So, I'm just here brainstorming with you guys here. So I'm thinking I'm going to take care of my water, upping my protein. And even though I'm at 10,000 steps a day, I don't know how I'm going to feel each day. So I'm spanking that goal all the way down to 2,500. If I can get 2,500 steps a day, that's great. My goal is going to be to get up, at least once an hour, kind of move around a bit, maybe go to the bathroom, check on a kid, do something, fill up my water bottle if I can, depending on, logistics and things like this. But kind of those are my goals. you really have to reassess yourself each day. Sometimes we think of ourselves as we're doing a sprint each day, but it's really a marathon. It's about, where are you this day? Are you having pain? Or how are you, not only physically, but how are you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, to get you through this next few hours and days? And so I'm really honored to share this with you guys. I had no idea when I started the Glow Up Method that I would do this. Really, quite honestly, I was so proud of the fact that I did not go under the knife and I did this all by myself. And part of my journey that I've gone through with you all here, and I want you to see and understand, is it's great that I did it on my own. Like, bravo to me. I will never, ever, ever minimize that. I understand fully, not even from my own experience, of how many times I tried and tried and tried and then failed. But each time I try to learn something new. Each time I try to learn what didn't work. Each time I try to have the courage to try, even if I didn't fit, even if I didn't succeed, then I learned something that allowed me to have the success I'm currently experiencing. And choosing each day, because it is a choice. You know, like I said, I've made some rough decisions on the dietary side, on top of reducing my step count by half, and there's been a difference in my body. And it's all a choice. And I always have felt like I've said here, I need to do things alone. I need to do it by myself. I need to wear this like a badge of honor and have the war wounds all over me. And look at what I've done. I've did this all myself. And you're like, okay, cool. You know, great. I needed those Ozempic. Good for you. You know, kudos to you. It's not like it's that much easier on Ozempic. I've had my tough days, or Wegovy, or whatever these other things, or you had to have the lap band, or you had to have the gastro. Like, none of that stuff is shameful or wrong. Like, it was just, for me, these were the reasons why I did it this way, and it worked. And a lot of it was because I was too scared to do a medication every day. Actually, when I started this journey, they didn't even have that damn stuff, or I wasn't even aware of it. And secondarily, like, I was afraid of surgeries. Like, I wasn't going to do that. And so, you know, I always have felt like I needed to do things on my own. I don't need anybody else's support or depending on anybody else. And I came to a point now, and it's very symbolic of this whole experience, that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to get the help. It's okay to receive it. It's okay. Like, it doesn't minimize everything I've done. It doesn't negate everything I have accomplished and been able to maintain. So I say that to you, when you need to depend on somebody, it's okay. You know, I met yesterday 30 plus women that I could send a Facebook message and be like, hey, I'm needing some support. And I believe like 9 out of 10 of them will totally respond, because I would 100% be like, I don't know how to show up for you. Like, or let me send you some flowers. Like, I would figure it out, and I would use my resources to make sure that person didn't feel alone, unseen, unheard. So it's okay to depend on people. And tomorrow I'm going to depend on a whole team. And tonight I'm going to be praying for that team, that they are getting some good sleep, they having a good dinner. I'm going to pray for all the people along the way, from the people in insurance, from the doctors, from the pharmacists, to the people making the tools, from the janitorial staff that is making sure my room is bacteria free so I don't get any infections, to the surgeon, may like his hands be blessed, may the nurses, may everybody just be, and everybody in that hospital in total, not just me, in every hospital overall, but specifically, I'm not used to praying for me. I'm not used to praying over myself. And so being able to have this moment where, you know, I give myself this compassion, and I extend this surrendering and saying, please make sure I'm taken care of, and I am, you know, well, and I wake up for my surgery, and my kids know I love them, and all those things. Like, yeah, like, it's here and it's okay. So I say all this to say, if there's something that you've wanted to do, there is no shame in anything you do and you want to do. It's your body. It's your choice, however you do it. And so I hope that the people around me can respect that. And if they don't, then that's their work to work on. This is my choice. This is my journey. I don't have any expectations except for I just don't want it to be hanging down on the ground anymore. And I really, really expect and hope that it just gives my back that relief, and more so that I can finally feel like this one last piece of luggage, this one piece of burden, this one piece of exhaustion, this one piece of the consequences of years of neglect, I can finally release and let go and say, I don't need to be punished anymore for the choices that you made in the past. That it's okay to not be perfect, and it's okay to make poor decisions, and you can survive them. You can get through them. You can learn to love this. And I love this belly of mine. But I also am going to love this new belly of mine, no matter how it looks. And of course, I hope it looks great. But no matter how it looks, I'm going to love it. And I'm going to appreciate the fact that so many people were so kind and shared their gifts and talents with my body in order to make this one thing happen. That's going to make me feel really proud. That's going to be a real challenge, but I'm going to feel really grateful that I finally did it. So I say all this to say, on the eve of my surgery, oh my gosh, I'm freaking doing this. That I thank you so much for being a part of this journey. And I am so blessed to not only be able to interact with you, but to have the epiphanies that I have on screen here, where I'm like, wait a second, and realize, because without you, I wouldn't be where I am. And I really hope that there's a part there that without me, maybe you wouldn't be exactly where you are. I've imprinted something on you, and whether or not you, but maybe you're taking that information and sharing with a friend, a family member, a child, whoever it is, a partner. I care for you so deeply. So thank you for being here. So I'm going to end this as I usually do. Please go out there today and give yourself a big old smile, and then give yourself a big compliment. So my compliment today is, I am going to say, I'm so grateful, Natasha, that you had the courage yesterday to go where nobody knew your name, and you had an amazing time. And I'm really glad that you have not, as of yet, canceled this procedure tomorrow, and that you are peacefully going into this. You are not Natasha-ing the way you Natasha for everyone else. You're kind of relaxed. As much as I always get everything over prepared and everything, I'm kind of choosing to be we're going to see as it goes. We're going to bob and weave. Sometimes in life, I've been a little over prepared, and I carry around a lot of baggage and cause myself more work. So this has been a total epiphany. It's been a total life change. So I would love for you now to go out there, give somebody else a big old smile, give them a compliment, and just watch how they glow up. Please comment below what you commented on yourself, how you complimented yourself, and what you said to somebody else today. I would love to hear that. I complimented our server. I was like, thank you so much for being on point and always knowing exactly what we needed, keeping our bread full and our drinks full. So love that. So thank you so much. Mwah. Bye.